everybody. Welcome back. We're doing section 2 today, so go ahead and get your notes out and let's get started. So last time we talked about the Renaissance really beginning in Italy. Now we've talked about how it spread to the rest of Europe because it didn't stay in just Italy for long. One of the biggest things that helped spread was the invention of the printing press at the hands of Johann Gutenberg, who made a printing press with movable type, meaning you could realistically print things really fast, at least for the time. Now, he is credited with printing and copying the first complete Bible. And with his printing press, 15 to 20 million books were produced within months. It was a lot faster than in previous decades, where literally priests and stuff would literally sit and write the Bible by hand every day for hours upon hours upon hours, and then sew the binding to make the book. Now with the printing press, you could make things a lot faster and cheaper. And it raised the literacy rate as well, and it helped new ideas and spread to a variety of places. We'll really see the printing press come into a benefit when we get to the Reformation. There's Mr. Gutenberg, and there's his printing press. So we also have to talk about some art, because just like we talked about art in Italy, there's some new styles of art coming to be in the Northern Renaissance as well. Beginning in the city of Flanders, which is in France, you have people like Jean van Eyck, who paints pictures of townspeople and religious scenes and in pretty realistic detail. You have Peter Bruegel, who paints more so the peasant life, and Peter Paul Rubens, who blended realist and classical styles to make a variety of pieces of art. This one, I believe, is by Van Eyck. And this one, I believe, is a Rubens, if I remember correctly. So we also have Albrecht Dürer to talk about. He was a German painter, and he was influenced by the Italian Renaissance. And essentially, from historians' perspective, we consider him to be the Leonardo da Vinci of the North. Now, he created something known as engraving, or design etched onto a metal plate with acid. And it caused a lot of religious upheaval because of the scenes being depicted. As you can see from these two images down here, engraving really allowed the reproduction of multiple pieces of artwork really quickly. Think of it today as like a meme generator. Like if you go and access a meme generator on the internet, you can make one really quickly. And you can just use that template multiple times and make multiple copies of it. Engraving worked in a very similar way. Once you made this design on a metal plate, you just simply covered it in ink, pressed it on paper. Now you have another copy of it. More ink, new paper, repeat. Literally, it made it so much faster to spread their ideas. Now, Northern humanists and writers. Again, remember humanists, we talked about them last time, stressed education and classical learning. They also embraced the vernacular, or everyday language of ordinary people. So really moving away from Latin as a language, mainly because most people didn't speak it anymore or read it that often, to warrant them writing in those languages. So really here we start to see things starting to be written in things like English, French, Spanish, German, a lot of your early languages in Europe. So you also have Erasmus, a Dutch priest who preached for social reform, especially in his book In Praise of Folly. He provided the Bible in Greek and vernacular, believing all people should have access. He said once, the main hope of a nation lies in the proper education of its youth. And he realized that was being limited by the fact that these things were being published in languages people didn't speak. It'd be like if I did this entire lecture in German and there was no translation or subtitles available for this video. You wouldn't be able to learn that well. Especially if I converted everything up here into German, you would really struggle with that. Erasmus called for education to change to where everybody would be included. We also have Thomas More, who preached for social reform and established the idea of utopia, or an ideal society of peace and harmony, in which all people were educated. Now, I would assume you all have heard of a utopia before. It has never really existed, but it is a good idea that a lot of people strive for. We also have Francois Robles, who wrote Gargantua and Pantagruel in the vernacular, I believe French, if I remember correctly. And he blended religion and education. Now, his stuff was quite obscene. Think, trying to think of a reference that you all would understand. More so, think like dirty jokes or like Saturday Night Live. More so, make fun of them, but make it a little bit more inappropriate. Now, one of the most famous writers out of this era is, of course, Shakespeare. With his complexity of individuals and realism, and embracing the importance of the classics and the vernacular, Shakespeare is one of the most famous writers, even still today. With various works inspiring stories such as The Lion King, which is based off of Shakespeare's play Hamlet, uh, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Othello, 10 Things I Hate About You, The Taming of the Shrew. There's multiple options. Here's a whole bunch of quotes from Shakespeare. And that is it for today. So we're going to be doing a Shakespearean insult activity now that we're done with notes. So stick around for that. That should be fun. And once you're done with that, you are completing a Renaissance art worksheet. You're going to pick a piece of Renaissance art. I don't care which, you pick. And then you're going to answer some questions about it. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.